Hi, everybody. I want to introduce myself. My name is Denise Matthews. I'll be your leader on this exciting study on Sermon on the Mount. It is a 10-week study that we will begin either Thursday here in Jackson, Tennessee, or Friday, September 17th online. I hope that we get to meet each other and have a good time. Our class normally starts at 9 a.m. Central Time each Friday, except for the first week when we'll start at 8:30 a.m. for a short meet and greet. I will be emailing you out class handouts in the first few days whenever I get the work done. And it'll all be done in PDF files, and you'll get a PowerPoint PDF file of the week if I have one. Sometimes I don't do one. And we have a special surprise. Sharon Clark sent me all of the scriptures that we look at for each week, and I'll send those out each week. Wasn't expecting that. The class link will be sent out the same time each week, so you can put it somewhere safe. It'll be the same each week, so you can put it in one place. Like if I send you the first one, it says, do you want it put to your calendar? And you can put it there. That is an easy way, and that way you can just click on your calendar, go to it, and you're right in the class. If you have not already and you're new to us, to the inductive Bible study method, please listen to the video that I have set on my YouTube account. It'll be attached to this email that you get for this little lecture. I'm not real good at this, but we all have fun together, right? The lectures that Kay has on the Sermon on the Mount is about 24 to 25 minutes each. So it'll give us more time to discuss. So we can go over the hour that we normally have planned. And no worries if you can't stay for the whole thing. I record the class discussion, which is posted to the YouTube. You get it usually Friday afternoon. Also, you'll be able to look at Kay Arthur's lecture that will be only available for a few days. This is for copyright regulations. You're not allowed to download it, but I only do this so that you can make sure that you get the full encompassing of what Precepts wants us to learn. Or you can just purchase the lectures at precept.org. Now, what we're going to be looking at, this on the left side of the page is out of your workbook. It's page 3, III 3. I put the dates there. I always like to have the dates of the class right there so I know where I'm at. Sometimes we get a little lost, don't we? But I have added here, and you have a copy of this PowerPoint too, so you can print this out, or you can refer to it whenever you want to, what each class is about. And all I did was I just got this from the class description out of your workbook. I love that we're going to sit there and we're going to look at all the blessed R's. And you'll see how we'll go through these and how they build on each other. And it's going to be wonderful. And it just gives you an idea of what we're looking at for each class and where in the Bible it is on the left-hand side. There are helpful tools on page, I think it's 4, the one after the listing of the chapters, 5, excuse me, is helpful tense. One thing that if you're going to do the inductive Bible study, you've got to have a study, how to study your Bible. It is great. I will be copying things and sending them to you as necessary. For instance, on the first week, I have a note here that there's 2 things that I'm going to copy and send you for your handouts on how to study the Bible. Expositor's Bible Commentary is always great. You can either buy it, but it's also online free at Blue Letter Bible, okay? The Sermon on the Mount on Christ, I don't suggest that you really buy it unless you're just wanting to dig really deep like I do, because it is quite thick, all right? This is volume 1 and volume 2, and it is about 1,000 pages, so it's a lot of reading. Now, 2 others that I am going to be using is Swindoll's Living Insights on Matthew's chapter 1 through 15 and the Gospel of Matthew by Barclay. There's 2 different ones. I have the I have both of them, but I'm using the blue one right now. It makes no difference. It has the same information in it. And I always, for either one of these, any of these, I get at Amazon.com or I get at Christianbook.com. I just compare the prices and see which one's better, because sometimes Christianbook.com has a really good sale on something. So that's what I'm going to look at. Vines. Again, that's on blueletterbible.com. You can always use it, but we are going to look in second week, but I'm just giving you a little preview. And so you know a little bit what you're getting into. Okay, aren't you excited? I am. I'm like so happy. I've gotten emails from some of you going, I'm on week 3. I'm not even on week 3, y'all. That's not fair. But y'all are getting really excited, so I'm excited. Strong's, the pronunciation is mararchios. In Strong's, the definition is happy. Vines says, used in the Beatitudes, not only the characters that are blessed, but the nature that which is of the highest good. I wonder what that means. I bet we dig into that more. I like what Swindoll says. The positive benefits of a lifetime of faithfulness. The Greek term originally conveyed the happy estate of gods above earthly sufferings and labors. Later, it came to mean any positive condition a person might experience. From the Latin, I love this. I did not know this. From the Latin word beatus, a translation of Macarios, we get the term beatitude. That's where the word Beatitudes comes from. Isn't that neat? Used to describe the repeated use of the adjective in Jesus's Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5:1-12. Actually, we're going all the way through 7 on the Beatitudes. Here, the term describes transcendent happiness, the kind that neither depends upon earthly fortunes nor falters from temporal hardships. It means you can be in a hardship and still be happy. A blessed person possesses what we would call true joy. Isn't that what we all want? What Swindoll says about the Beatitudes is, through these words, Jesus, with penetrating insight, exposed the brittle veneer of all self-righteousness prevalent in his day and in ours. He explained the essence of the true righteousness, which leads to a deep-seated joy. Weaving through the Old Testament throughout this garment of truth, the heir of the throne of David set forth principles that must never be ignored by subjects of his kingdom. Yet how few truly embrace Jesus's words. We many observe and outline these words, analyze and interpret them, admire and quote them, even frame them and build churches to commemorate them. But we rarely apply them with the earnest and obey them with seriousness. Because of that, we miss the point entirely. Jesus preached his sermon to bring about permanent life change, and his concern was, and still is, that we live in stark contrast to the world system. He desires that his followers be Christ-like to the core, a divine minority who live differently from the rest of the world. Read those words over again. I mean, we are to obey Jesus's word for that blessedness that we're all looking for and want in our life. Now, just to give you a little bit more technical, and why I like Barclay, especially in the book of Matthew, this is on page 86 of the blue one. In the beginning words of Matthew 5, he says, he being Matthew, Jesus began to teach when he sat down. When a Jewish rabbi was teaching, officially he sat to teach. Often a rabbi gave instruction when he was standing or strolling about, but his really official teaching was done when he had taken his seat. So when the very insinuation that Jesus sat down to teach his disciples is the indication that this teaching is central and official. When he said, when he opened his mouth, he taught them. This phrase is not simply a way of saying he said this, okay? In the Greek phrase, it has double significance. In Greek, it is often used of a solemn, grave, and dignified utterance. It is the natural preference for a most weighty saying. B, It is used of a person's utterance when he's really opening his heart and fully pouring out his mind. It is used of intimate teaching with no barriers between. It is the grave and solemn utterance of the central things. It is the opening of Jesus's heart and mind to the men who were to be his right-hand men in his task. It goes on to say, taught them saying, there's two tenses in the Greek verb. There's aorist tense and imperfect tense. Aorist tense expresses one particular action done and completed in the past. In the sentence, he shut the gate. Shut would be an aorist in Greek because it describes one complete action in past time. It was done one time in a specific time. Imperfect tense, although, describes repeated, continuous, or habitual action in past time. In the sentence, it was his custom to go to church every Sunday. In Greek, it was his custom to go would be expressed by a single verb in the imperfect tense because it describes continuous and often repeated action in the past. So he has repeatedly done this in the past. It wasn't just one time, it's many times or a few times. In this sentence in Matthew, the verb taught is not an aorist, but it is imperfect. And therefore, it describes repeated and habitual action. And the translation should be, this is what he used to teach them. The Sermon on the Mount is not one sermon of Jesus given at one particular time and on one particular occasion. It is the essence of all that Jesus continuously and habitually taught his disciples. Matthew, in his introduction, wishes us to see that it is the official teaching of Jesus. So are you ready? I am. Are you excited? I hope you are, because this is so imperative in our transformation into being more and more Christ-like. That's what I want so much every day, you know. So I encourage you to take your time. Sit there, make sure that you make time to do this. Even if you have to get up early or stay up later at night, take the time. I know your lives are busy, but if we don't take this to heart, we can never become more and more like Christ. And try as best as you can to do your homework. I'm not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it. I'm going to assume that you have done it, but sometimes when you're working on these, I know you sit there, I do, okay? I'll sit there and they'll ask a question and I'll go, huh? I don't get it, you know? Well, don't worry about it. We will work it out. Just bring it up in class and we'll talk about it. Because it's amazing to me. There's lots of times I have that and I ask you, hey, what did you all put down for this? Because I didn't get it, you know? And your insights are just amazing to me. And I appreciate that so very much. So write down your questions. They're important. And don't be afraid to ask, okay? I've always said there's no such thing as a stupid question. The only thing stupid is not asking. So please participate in class. I really want to hear your views. Everybody wants to hear your views. And if you're not talking, I would ask you that you'd mute because that helps keep the sound down. We have a lot of people in the class. And when your dog barks, we hear it. When your husband's speaking to you or your wife's speaking to you, we hear it. If your phone rings, we hear it. So please go ahead and mute when you're not participating. But I do encourage you to participate. So see you Friday. We will meet at 8:30 on this first Friday on the 17th, just as a little meet and greet. We do have a lot of new people in the class, and I'm so excited to get to meet you. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you there. This is me. It's just me. I'm Denise, and I will see you soon. Study hard. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.